Hello class, this is Mr. Lucero and we're going to start a new lesson. In this part we're going to work on pages 96, 97 culture and 98 grammar number 2. The activity for page number 96 is speaking and the title says looking for a part-time job. In this part we have Bert, is a man from the picture who is a high school student. Is talking to his friend Joe about getting a part-time job. Listen and complete the dialogue. So, here is the dialogue. What do you have to do? Easy. As a teacher, I'm going to play the audio and you need to listen and then complete the conversation. You have letter A, letter B, letter C, letter D, E, F, G, H, and finally I. So we're going to play the audio and start doing the activity. Let's see.
Track 55. Speaking.
Joe, have you ever considered working part-time while in high school?
Not really. Have you?
In fact, yes. If I get a part-time job, I'll have my own cash to spend. That's the best thing about it.
Well, that's true. But if you start working now, your parents will probably ask you to help around the house. That means paying the 5-letter word that everyone fears. Bills.
Yeah, maybe paying for my cell phone and other little things. No prob. If I do, that'll teach me to be disciplined and will help me appreciate what it's like to earn money.
It may be hard finding a job, but one thing is true. Once you do, that's great work experience.
That is catnip to future employers, especially if they see you work part-time while still going to school. Another upside.
And you can make business connections, which can be quite helpful in future job opportunities.
Positively, I'm really excited.
A downside though, remember you need to have good grades to not be held back a year.
Okay class, this was our conversation and the idea is clear. To complete the conversation with the word you listen on the audio. Well, let's see. I'm going to read for a second time. Yo, have you ever considered working part-time while in high school? Not really, have you? In fact, yes. If I get a part-time job, I have my own cash to spend. That's the best thing about it. Well, that's true, but if you start working now, your parents will probably ask you to help around the house. That means paying the 5-letter word that everyone fears. Bills. Yeah, maybe paying for my cell phone and another little things. No prop. If I do, that'll teach me to be disciplined and will help me appreciate what it's like to earn money. It may be hard finding a job, but one thing is true. Once you do, that's great work experience. That is catnip to future employers, especially if they see you work part-time while still going to school. Another upside. And you can make business connections while can be quite helpful in future job opportunities. Positively, I'm really excited. A downside thought. Remember, you need to have good grades to not be held back a year. Okay, this was our reading. Excuse me, I was reading the conversation. But remember, you can play this audio as many times as you can. Okay, so now let's continue with the second part. In the second part says functional language, evaluating a situation. And we have, for example, a question: have you ever considered, no? Have you ever considered working a part-time job? Have you ever considered studying English? Have you ever considered to travel to a different country? No, you have many ideas. So in this case, evaluating a situation. If I, it may be hard, it may be easy, a downside, an upside, the best, the worst thing about it is. So here, for example, have some keywords in order to do this speaking, looking for a part-time job. Here I have a task, no? The idea is to write a dialogue between you and your friend. So, and this is the model. Okay, this is the model. You can follow this dialogue looking for a part-time job in order to get yours. Here you have some steps. Now, step number one, a part-time job or use your own ideas. Job. Part-time job store, assistant in a clothes store, advantages, wage, it pays well, best thing, discount on clothes, disadvantage, long hours, very tiring. Job, vacation, sport coach, no, the second one. At the summer camp, advantages, playing sport all day, it's great fun, best thing, being outside, disadvantages, coaching young children, it can be difficult. No, step number two. So in step number one, what do you have to do to select the job you want to work on your dialogue? In number two, say think about what you say and suggestions your friend will give you. No? In, in number three, work in pairs, write your dialogue, and in number four, take turns practicing the dialogue. No? The idea is to use this one as a model so that you can create a new one. And this is going to be all the activity for this page 96. Remember, if you have problem listening to the audio, you can repeat the audio. You can repeat a part in which you listen this exercise. Let's continue on page 97, culture. Okay, class, this is going to be very important because this is going to be your homework. Working teenagers in the US. Okay, and here I'm going to minimize this one more. And here I have a picture of a boy and a girl. No, this is the article. If you don't have your book, you can screenshot this reading activity, and then you can practice, no, on it. Listen. Many American teenagers look for part-time jobs in the US to help support their families, to save for college, or simply to earn some extra money for personal expenses. However, there are some facts which employers must consider when hiring a teen, excuse me. There are some rules the American Department of Labor sets for working teenagers, and these rules vary according to the age of the minor and the job involved. As a general rule, the Fair Labor Standards Act (FLSA) establishes an age limit 14 years old as the minimum age for employment, and also prohibits a minor from working in hazardous positions such as work involving driving, operation of power driving equipment, and agricultural work. It is also important to check working hours. 14-15 years old can only work 3 hours a day, 18 hours in a school week, 8 hours on a non-school day, and 40 hours during the non-school week. Teens in that age group are allowed to work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and no later. However, students ages 16 and 17 can work unlimited hours when they turn 18. They can work unlimited hours and hazardous jobs are not problem, although the American law does not forbid teens from working. Parents must monitor their children to make sure they are not spending too much time at work and leaving their studies behind. So class, I've read the article about working in the USA. Now what do you have to do? Well, If you need to listen once again, you can repeat the audio. Read and listen to the information and write true or false or an M for not mentioned. For example, letter A. American teenagers look for part-time job for no specific reasons. True or false? Or maybe an N, okay, not mentioned. B. The Department of Labor sets rules for working teens starting at age 14. True or false? Or maybe not mentioned. Letter C. Parents must sign a legal document giving permission for their teen to work. True, false, or no mention. D. 14, 15 years old can only work 3 hours a day, 18 hours in a school week, and 8 hours on a non-school day, and 40 hours during a non-school week. True, false, or not mentioned. Letter E. The American law forbids teens from working. True, false, or not mentioned. All part-time working students have good grades at school. True, false, or not mentioned. This is going to be your activity, the main activity. Okay? Now, we have number 2 and number 3. In number 2 and 3 are personal. For example, can teens work in your country? What does the law say about it? Okay? What, yes or no? Teens, no, remember from 14 to up, can work in Peru? Yes or no? What the law said about it? Number 3, do you think it is a good idea to have a part-time job while in high school? Why or why not? Okay, imagine you boys, imagine you girls, you're in high school, and do you think it's okay to work a part-time job? Why or why not? Okay, this is going to be page 97 and the activity for your workbook. Okay, so remember to listen the audio. Here you can take a screenshot, there is no problem, and try to do this activity. Now, let's continue with the last part. The last part says vocabulary number 2, word verbs. And there are 3 pictures. Okay, number 1, I mean he's a waiter can be. Number 2, a designer. And number 3, I don't know, was a teacher? Could be a possibility. Yes, could be a possibility. Now let's see. Number 1, match the pictures 1 to 3, no, 1, 2, and 3 with verbs in the box. Use your dictionary if that is necessary. Here, for example, I have apply for a job. Okay, repeat in your house. Apply for a job. Claim expenses. Filling an application form. Get a pension. Have an interview. Sign a contract. Be unemployed. Earn a salary. Get a job. Have a full-time job. Lose a job. Work a part-time job. Okay, let's see. For example, the first activity says, the first activity says match picture 1 to 3. What can be number 1, number 2, number 3? Have a full-time job, number 1 and number 2. Perfect. Get a part-time job, number 1 and number 2. Perfect. Get a pension in number 3. Okay? Now listen. You need to work, so I'm going to give you this activity to get ready for the class. Try to look for the meaning of those words, no? So that you can get ready for the class. Okay? Thank you. Some of them, we've seen some of them. For example, apply for a job. No? It's like, for example, you are trying to get a job, no? Apply. And the right one, choose me, okay? Be unemployed, no job. No job, no money, okay? Claim expenses. What is claim expenses? Huh? Or for example, earn a salary. That is very easy, no? Or for example, fill in an application form. Or get a job, no? So the idea is to get your dictionary and try to get the meaning, okay? Get the meaning. I help with two, no? Apply for a job, no? That's very easy. And be unemployed. So if you have the idea for a climb expenses, you can tell in the class, okay? You can tell in the class, okay? If you don't, we can check it, okay? Now let's see. Number 2 is listen and practice. Number 3, match the words A to D with to make sentences. For example, we have my mom loves her job. She can climb. She can climb. It's like make a matching. Climb, 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 climb. Ah, okay, okay. My mom loves her job, so she can climb expenses for all her meals and travels. Okay. Now let's see. Can you help me fill out? Can you help me fill out exactly this application form for a weekend job? My brother is my no money. My brother is unemployed, but he has an interview today. My sister lost. My sister lost what? Her job when the company closed down. So there is no company anymore. Okay. Now let's see. The key word for this activity is to know this vocabulary. If you don't, there is a problem, okay? Claim for expenses. Okay, claim for expenses is like when you want to ask for your lunch, for your breakfast, not for your ticket bus. Annual salary, the money of the week. No, when you work, you receive money. You earn your salary. Fill up an application form. Application form. Filling an application form to complete a paper trying to get a job. Get a job. Okay. It's like you want to get a job in a factory. You say I'm the best. Okay, you're the right. You get the job. Or you have the job. Get a pension. When you work, when in Peru it means 65 years old, and then you retire. You get a pension. Have a full-time job. Not you work all day. Have an interview. No, for example, for a job, an interview job, lose your job or lose a job, you don't have a job anymore. Sign a contract or part-time job. Okay, I helped you. Okay, now let's see. Complete the questions with a verb in the box. Applied, earn, get, and has. For example, my uncle always wears a suit when he has a job interview. Letter B. Do you want to a high salary? Do you want to earn a high salary? Have you ever have you ever have you ever applied for a job? Is it difficult to is it difficult to get a job where you live? So number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4 is already done. Okay? Remember, we're working on the vocabulary. You need to know the vocabulary. This is the key. Reading activity number 2. Read the leaflet and listen. What is an apprenticeship? Okay? Apprenticeship, a way to learn about a job and get experience, or a way to earn a lot of money. Okay, for example, if your father or your mother is a teacher, Usually, teachers on February, they go back to school. You're right, yes. And then the school send you to apprenticeship, maybe through UGEL or Minedu, and they enter and study more and more. Exactly, an apprenticeship is a capacitación in Spanish, no? That's good. So, what is an apprenticeship? A way to learn about a job and get experience, or a way to earn a lot of money? Exactly, a way to earn about a job and get experience. Letter A. Now let's see. Read the leaflet and listen. Okay, I'm here trying an apprenticeship. You can do a summer apprenticeship. You have to. Okay, now let's listen. Pay attention. Let's see.
Unit 6, Track 58, Activity 1. Try an apprenticeship. Finding a job can be difficult when you have no experience in the world of work. So before applying for a job, why don't you get some work experience while you're still at school? You can do a summer apprenticeship. Summer apprenticeships might involve some training as well as practical experience of working in a job you think you might enjoy. Your boss will supervise your work and help you learn new skills. There are lots of different job opportunities to choose from. Think about the skills you have and what types of jobs you might enjoy. Do you enjoy working with animals? You could apply to do an apprenticeship at the local zoo. Or if you love playing soccer and tennis, you might want to work as a sports coach for children at a summer camp. Apprenticeships usually last for 1 month, and there are apprenticeship schemes all over the U.S. for students aged 16 to 18. What are you waiting for? Apply for an apprenticeship now.
That was the audio about this reading activity. Now we have activity number 2. Read the leaflet again and answer the questions. Letter A. What does the apprenticeship involve? B. Which jobs do the leaflet mention? Or number 3, or letter C. Who can do an apprenticeship? Okay? Now this is going to be for you. Now maybe you can read, listen, and answer and get ready for the class. Thank you very much. It's all for now. See you in class.